All right. Here it is, the day after Christmas, December 26th. And I worked the past 2 days, which is fine. I avoided another year of Christmas. Next year, I don't think I'll be able to avoid it because my son's going to be 3 and they're probably going to be here next year. So, I'm not going to have my son go through the way I did, which was we didn't celebrate it. Just because, it's always nice getting gifts. But I will say I did not miss it this year because I'm used to not really celebrating it. As far as at work, we had a very untraditional dinner, and it was free food, so can't really complain when you're getting free food. So I saw a couple of videos. First, I would like to give a shout out. There's many people I'd like to give a shout out to, but I'm going to put a link to her page, her channel up on the side. Her name is Quinn E. Jorge. I think that's how you pronounce it. And she's got a lot of interesting viewpoints, and the last couple of videos she's done have been pretty interesting. All her videos are pretty entertaining and interesting and well thought out. So I wouldn't. I mean, go check it out. I think you'll definitely like that channel. I haven't really done any shout outs because I don't really feel. When I do a real shout out, I'll start rambling off a bunch of channels that are really good out there. But I think we'll just start with this one because it's one of the people, when I see their videos, I go automatically to it and click it and see what it's about. Very good video, very good channel. I'm happy today. I'm very tired. As you see the bags under my eyes, I'm very tired just because I stayed up late playing Guitar Hero at work last night. I'm a firefighter, so this is after hours, after duty hours. So I wasn't just sitting there, playing around at work. I actually had this time to myself. And somebody brought the game in, and I've always wanted to try it, so I had a lot of fun doing that. But I am happy today because my family's coming back. So I will be picking them up not too short, hours from now. And I've had the house to myself. So as you can imagine, I had some cleaning up to do. Make mama happy, because if mama ain't happy, nobody happy. So she's also about to hit her third trimester, so I'd like to have her relax, get off her feet a little bit. She's had a rough month with my being that she's over visiting her. She was visiting her family, and she had to pretty much, my other son, my son pretty much clinging on to her the whole time. So, but I saw a video. I'd like to say I was glad to see Bella made another video. And she's very outspoken on people that eat animals. And she always says, "Why don't you just say they're tasty?" Which they are. But I will dispute a couple of things she said, and they're just minor. I know she realizes, but when I was living in Alaska, many people went fishing for their own fish, and many people went hunting for anything from bear, moose, elk, rabbit. So they actually hunted for their food, and it wasn't farmed. Because I think one of the problems she had was that, it's mass murder. We have them all in concentration camps, and nobody hunts for their own food. Up there, it's a little different. Even where I live now, people, especially people I work with, are avid hunters. But does everybody eat 100% hunting and all? No, of course, there are laws. There are laws to prevent you from going out and killing more than a few animals a year. So I don't. If you're gonna eat meat, it's almost impossible to feed your family by just going out and hunting because the laws prevent it. Now, if we went into a lawless society one day, then I'm sure, every man for himself, every woman for himself, you get what you get, and it'll be like the caveman days, I guess. But I wanted to bring up another thing that I just thought was interesting. Um, pigs. I'm not a big fan of pigs. I don't really like. It's just the way I grew up. We didn't eat pork, so or any pig product. So I don't really. I have a hard time liking it now. But what I wanted to say was that I was watching this. I don't know if it was the Hogzilla thing or whatever, but I was watching a special on these on pigs, and what they said was that whenever, way back when, pigs that are wild, you can go out looking at pigs that are wild. They're the boars. They have the tusks, the very sharp tusks that come out of their mouth, and they're very hairy, and they can do, they can semi-protect themselves against certain things with their teeth, with their tusks. So many thousands, I don't know, maybe millions, I don't know, whatever the time frame is, um, thousands, because so many thousands of years ago, when pigs were domesticated, it was, I don't want to say, because animals don't exactly communicate and say, hey, what's up, but pigs, instead of being out there in the wild and going it alone, found it that if they were farmed, if you want to call it, by man, that there was safety in numbers. And so when you catch a wild boar, or when they caught wild boars and they put them into a farming situation where they got free food and free shelter, well, they lost all their hair and they lost their tusks. They became domesticated, and yes, they were selected, for food. Some of them, eventually probably all of them, but for population's sake, they'd have babies, and it was just safety in numbers, and that was sort of the sacrifice and the unwritten deal they made with the devil. So what I found really interesting is that this is almost immediate. If one of those pigs goes out on its own, it's almost no time. I don't know how many days or a week it takes, but they'll grow their tusks and they'll grow their hair once they're on their own. I just thought that'd be a little bit. In no way I plan on changing anybody's mind or anything. I know that the people who don't eat meat, I want to say that they are against the cruelty to the animals more than they're against people eating the animals. Which I saw a PETA video, which I think PETA's um, they need new leadership. But I saw a PETA video, which was very, what is the word I'm looking for? It was very nauseating. It was very disturbing. That's the word I'm looking for. What people can do and have done at these plants, at these, say, turkey plants, where they slaughter the turkeys at the slaughterhouses, and what people do. Now, I have more of a problem with people that kill animals for fur, just for fur. Just say a fox or something like that. I can understand that argument, and I can understand people being upset with these slaughterhouses because they're very cruel, very very torturous and inhumane, if you want to call it. So I'm not sure if the people who are against eating meat are actually against the treatment of the animals or just totally against using animals as food because we don't have to. Well, you say we don't have to, which is true. Today we don't have to, but the first sign of crop failure, tell me one person that's not going to be looking for something to eat, including if they're starving to death, they'll eat up another person. So, all right, well, that's enough of that. I just, I'm random things going through my head here. I see I'm over the time limit. I may have to speed this up. So anyway, another thing I want to bring up is Dario brought up the whole Lakota argument. This is what I don't understand. You see people, and I'm not saying Dario's like this. He may not be, but there are people on here who sit there and say, especially a lot of people other than people in the United States, but and some people in the United States as well. But the United States is so nationalistic. Nationalism is bad. Europe used to be nationalistic, but now they're not. And nationalism is bad. And I see some of these same, I'm sure some of these same people that are commenting for the Lakotas to have their own individual nation are against nationalism. So what is the difference? If you have the Lakota nation, they're being nationalistic. They want a nation of their own. They want their own and become a Indian nation or a Native American nation. And that's sort of nationalistic, isn't it? So, which is it? Is nationalism bad? Because if it is, then we shouldn't have any national boundaries, right? I don't know. If I'm not making any sense, don't be too hard on me. I'm just tired. And I just want to ramble on. It's been a couple of days. So let me get out here because I'm way over the time limit.